How you doing, guys? It's Trey Cradle here, CEO Cradle Media. And I'm here right now, my first chapter for my anime YURIKAGO. This beautiful lady you see sitting up right there. So today, I'm here to tell you and give you a little bit of backstory about how I came up with this anime. So I've always been an anime guy, right? I think since growing up, Pokemon, Yu-Gi-Oh, all that good stuff. Naruto, of course, the OG anime, which everybody thinks, but, never here nor there. Or some people might say Dragon Ball Z, but whatever. So I've always wanted to create my own anime because I know everyone watches shows and everyone has a certain way or feeling about how they feel about a certain show, like what they want to see, like how they want the characters' development directions to go. So I was like, I always wanted to create something. And of course, this beautiful black skin. I always wanted to create an anime with mainly black characters. Obviously, my anime is going to be very diverse, but I always wanted to be the main character to be a nice, beautiful black girl because, we got shout out our black women, right? So her story was crazy because at first I didn't know what kind of anime I wanted to come up with. There's a bunch of animes. You got your fighting animes with your powers. You got your other, your thinking animes, mystical, sci-fi. Like there's so many directions to go. So I was kind of like, where do I want to go? And I was like, I always like fighting. Always love good fights. That's one thing about an anime for me. Good fights always bring it together. So I was like, I want something realistic, but I also need a little bit of powers because who wouldn't want to charge up and have a little bit of XP, right? So I was thinking like, do I want it to be because I feel like main characters in animes are usually men, unless you're talking about like Sailor Moon. You got a couple other ones out there. If I'm forgetting anyone, sorry, anime girlies. But there's not a lot of animes where I feel like girl main characters. I was like, that's the market we're gonna attack first. So then, with that being said, I was like, all right, now it's time to start cultivating what I think she's gonna look like. So with this being said, since obviously under the umbrella of Cradlesworlddd, we're gonna have our own separate thing going on called Rise Up Forever. So we had to have make a baddie. So how I came up with the origin for her looks and I feel like for how her personality is gonna be, it came from two of these beautiful black anime characters that I saw. One is from Yuruchi in Bleach. She originally is the cat in Bleach, but eventually she transformed into her human body. She dark skin, she has purple hair. Definitely go watch it. Bleach is OG, especially they're coming out with the new arcs right now. Definitely tune into Bleach. And then one of the newer animes is Fire Force. It's Princess Sabina. I think she's the captain from like the 5th or 8th district or whatever. Very cute, pink hair. She has like pink eyes. So that's how I came up with Kai. And like I said, I feel like every anime has like a significant color that's their color. Naruto, orange. Dragon Ball Z kind of orange and blue. You know what I'm saying? Certain animes have their colors. So for her, I thought purple was it. I feel like most girls like pink, but purple was it. You know what I'm saying? I feel like that was the color that was gonna pop. Love how the hair is. Like I said, I wanted to make it kind of futuristic type of situation. So she has the long strip right here that goes all the way down, but her hair is short. The rest of her hair is short and like I don't know what you call that. Maybe a shorter bob, but she does have the long string going down. And this long string right here it helps her power up. But obviously we can't give you guys too much on that. Princess YURIKAGO is a princess of her village. Her dad has been the king of the village for over 25 plus years. So at first that wasn't always the case. At first, every 5 years there was a big tournament. The royal family would have to fight to keep their rank. That means they could fight anybody in the town. Civilians, anybody. You could be a homeless person enter the tournament. If you win the tournament, your family would be the new people who rule the town. But there's a whole backstory to that I can't give you guys just yet. So you guys have to wait for more parts of that of the anime or actually read the manga when they drop. But like I said, back in the present day, Kai YURIKAGO and the YURIKAGOs are the kings of the nation. Her dad, Trey YURIKAGO, has been the king for over 25 plus years. So Kai is basically a prodigy. She's been since birth, basically, she's been fluent with fighting and just being able to really lead people. So everyone looks at Kai in the town to just give the answers and to be the comic voice. Sometimes her dad is a people's king, but sometimes he can be a little unreachable. So people love Kai. She's the people's favorite. She's gonna be an anime character you guys are all gonna love and be with. So basically, how the anime is gonna start. I'm gonna give you guys this little snippet, and then after that, you guys are gonna have to keep watching these videos to keep getting more. All right. So one night, Kai and her boyfriend Jay are coming from the movies. Like I said, it's modern. They smoking a little spliff in the car, driving. It's raining. They're driving. They're talking about the movie they saw, just laughing it up. Usual boyfriend and girlfriend shit. Whatever they're driving, some guy is coming from the other side of the road. He's not looking. Jay's like, oh snap! He freaking drives the car. It's raining out, so he slips. So Kai calls the ambulance. Now I want all that stuff. They're in the ambulance, riding to the hospital. Jay has bandaged up. He lost a lot of blood. The EMTs are nervous. Kai's there. She calls her dad. Dad, we got into a bad car accident. Jay hit his head. I'm worried. It's a lot of blah, 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 blah. Her dad says, Kai, don't worry. I have the best seals in the nation. And hangs up. Boom. Why did he say that? Why did she even call her dad? I get he's the king, but the world may never know. So they get to the hospital. They check Jay out, blah, blah, blah. Kai's waiting in the waiting room, stressing, crying. Then they come get her. He's going to be fine. He's sleeping right now. He should be awake in a couple of hours. She walks to the room. Jay's sleeping, head all bandaged up, because he lost a lot of blood. So if you ever saw Akira, where he was in the bed laying around with his head all taped up, imagine this, right? So she's sitting there. He's sitting there like this, peacefully sleeping. Kai's stressing, crying. Like, oh, Jay, you blah, blah, blah. You know what I'm saying? Then she calls her, then her dad calls back for an update. She says, he asked her what's going on. She said, he's sleeping right now. I said, he'll be fine. Blah, blah, blah. I'm just worried that I hit his head really hard. Her dad says, Kai, there's nothing to worry about. What did I say? I'm the number one salesperson in the world. And hangs up again. So she's like, She's staring out the window, taking a sip of water, just looking, just praying that her boyfriend's okay. But then, like I said, Kai is a prodigy, one of the best ninjas in the whole nation. So she turns and then she says, Jay, you're not sleeping. And then he opens his eyes. And then he says, you know what I have to do, right? And she says, what? And then he jumps up out of the hospital bed and they instantly get into a ninjutsu battle. And then, like I said, Kai is the princess, the prodigy. Jay is a good fighter, but he's nowhere near as Kai's level. So right now in this situation, she should be able to get the best of him. But guess what? Her heart's involved because it's her boyfriend, the person she loves, who doesn't want to hurt him. So it's a good fight scene to go back and forth. Then Jay ends up fleeing out of the window. And then she ends up, trying to chase after him because she can't catch up to him. And then at the end scene, she calls her dad. And hey, guys, that's all I can give you for today. So I hope you guys enjoyed this little snippet of the first episode, a little sneak peek episode of me telling you about YURIKAGO, Cradlesworlddd. We out of here.